Hello there, I'd like to wish you a Happy New Year, and today I'd like to talk about trains. There's been a lot in the media about trains this week, particularly the accessibility of trains, and one of the main issues on the trains seems to be toileting, which can cause problems because the trains on the toilet aren't easy when you've got a disability, because when they're moving you've got to keep your balance and other things, and that can prove really problematic. And sometimes, although the trains are very good 90% of the time, maybe 70, I don't know, but between 70 and 90% you'll get where you need to go by booking your assistance and things, but it requires a lot of planning. And to be honest, like most things in a disabled person's life, I wish it was easier for us to do, because we seem to have to tell them which station we need to go on to and things, and it can complicate things if you'd want the extra hour out, or to visit your family, or to do things as independently as possible. It is quite difficult because it requires planning of military precision, which despite our best efforts, a lot of the time we can't respond to the things that we need to do. And one example I've got is earlier last year is I wanted to go and see a play, and my friend's car had broke down who was supposed to be going with, so I thought, oh, I know what I'll do, I'll get the train. And they were absolutely amazed that I managed to book a ticket at 10 o'clock the night before. And then they said, oh well, we don't know whether we can provide you with any assistance. And I was like, okay, but I'd like to go. And it becomes this problem of being able to do things independently. And there's other instances where I've been on the train or wanted to get on the train and they haven't put the carriage on with a disabled space. And I've also had the other problem where people put the baggage in the area, but on that occasion the guard was very good at removing the obstacle and making sure that I had access to the space. So I think a lot of it probably depends on the sort of staff that you get, and a lot of them do have quite good disability awareness training, but it's just to push more about getting more staff and getting them used to being able to deal with people with disabilities. But quite a lot of the toileting issues I can relate to, because I've definitely been there, you know, and although I haven't had it as bad to the extent as some people in the media this week, travelling by the train is certainly a challenge. And you've also got station inaccessibility, and the list goes on really. But most of the time I have a positive experience with the train, and times when the train's not been able to run, the train company have managed to organise for me a taxi home, which has been nice. But as most things, being a disabled person, I don't feel as if I can be as spontaneous as I would like to be, and that's a real shame when you can see a lot of other people who just take for granted being able to get out there and do it, and unfortunately sometimes that we can't, you know. But I would like more rail companies and sort of other companies in general is to ask disabled people before they're building and designing any of the services, just to consult with us what we would do in the same way as if you're building a business. It's called a lean startup methodology. So you build, measure, and then you learn, and that is what's known as a feedback loop, you know. And I think us giving feedback to customers or to companies, and being able to have a two-way conversation, and them not just saying, oh well, we'll put it right next time. But if your experience is that bad on the train, you might not want to go next time, you know. And especially with things like the toileting issue is a main one, and not being able to put your wheelchair where you want it to go, and then feeling unsafe on the journey if it's not in the right position. You know, these are all challenges that we have to face, and I just wanted to say that I've also faced challenges, and what I'll do in this video is I'll put a link to the Disabled Persons Railcard and how to book assistance for your next train journey, and it was just sort of to discuss those issues with the train and say that people aren't alone in experiencing them, really, because it just seems like an extra thing that we have to deal with every day that a lot of people don't realise, but sometimes they are very good and you know it's but even then you've got your night out that might be curtailed because you can't get the late train home because of X, Y and Z. So, and what happens if the station's shut, and does the other station have a disabled toilet? Are you able to access it? You know, and it's all these different things all the time, which is very frustrating. So we don't just have the problem of not being able to get a seat, it's all the other problems that people don't even realise. So that this video was just a short one to raise awareness of that, and please tell me about your experiences on the train and how you think we can make them better as a community by reaching out to the companies and campaigning and getting things done. Thanks very much for listening, and please subscribe and watch some of the other videos, and hope you have a positive experience on the train next time. Thanks. Bye.